back, ladies and gentlemen, to Watch Your Lips. Joined by our good friend, as always, Jeffrey Cox, Kevin Burns.
And we have Andy Dalton. He just got back from
Bartholomew Frazier.
How was the ending to that game, Brett?
The meltdown.
All redheads look like Jeff. That's so racist.
Well, we don't discriminate on this podcast. Welcome, Brett. Back from Simpatico and Super Bowl mashup. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been
Brett
way
Frazier.
too long. Way too long.
Welcome. Wow.
And if you guys are wondering why I have all this hideous
Go
shit
ahead
on,
and
Look at the
cameras. Jeff's
All
wearing.
this-
He's going to
Jeff
go on
is now
vacation.
faithful.
I will.
Brett, will you
Since
introduce?
2013.
Will you introduce the fashion here? What are we wearing tonight?
So Jeffrey is looking divine in a farewell candlestick scarf from 2013. He also has a throwback. Actually, it's not even a throwback. It just was way back visor with his favorite player, his favorite quarterback, Joe Montana, the Pins.
Montana.
And then, as Jeff is on every Sunday, he is faithful. Rain, shine, or fog. Let's go, Jeff.
Even with the stain on it.
Bang, bang, Jeffrey Cox, Niner Gang.
Gang bang whiner gang.
Everybody
I'm proud of
knows
you.
that Jeff is a Dolphins
So-
fan. So
Stand-
He
by,
was until the end of
everybody.
the game, and then he said, "Hey, Brett, is there room on the 49ers bandwagon?" I said,
No,
"Hey,
that's-
whenever you want to come on over." And he said, "I'll buy whatever you have." And so he bought these.
The most hideous outfit that he has in his closet is the one I would purchase.
I mean, that hat belongs
looks
in the
good.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but, okay, I did not have a bet with Brett. Okay, I just told him I would wear this, but it was for Nava. Okay, we did have a bet. We have a jersey bet. I got to buy him one.
Oh, nice.
And I told him I would wear Niner shit on the podcast. So
What jersey are you buying him?
I don't know.
Oh, he hasn't said.
He's gonna send it
Nava,
to
we
me.
did have a bet. Jeff and I did, and if this is not him getting out of your bet, so he has to wear it next time. This is the bet that
He's
and I
trying to
had.
kill two birds with
I'm
one
just
stone.
telling you,
I
Nava.
just killed it. This is the first and last time you'll see me in
Hold him
Niner
to it,
shit.
Nava. He's got to wear it the next time too.
Kevin, where can they find the podcast?
They can find us on Instagram and Twitter at watchyour_lips and on
YouTube.
TikTok at Watch Your Lips. And if you want to watch us, go on YouTube's. And
YouTube.
follow.
Now, if you're watching us,
subscribe.
if
Go
you're
on the
watching
YouTubes,
us-
all of them.
Go on the YouTubes,
Every
all of
single
them.
one of them.
All of them.
You know, Kevin, there's no shame in writing this down.
It
There's no need to. It's all up there, Brett. I've got it. I've got it up
When you go to
Brett,
the
what
bakery
number-
before you come on the podcast,
What number was Ronnie Lott?
42.
This is episode 42.
Jackie Robinson.
Let's go. This is Ronnie Lott.
Jackie Robinson is 42.
No, I know. But
In all, I get it in the
Ronnie
49er.
Lott, Hall of Famer, episode 42. Now I know why the Dolphins just flopped.
We'll get there.
Okay, they weren't swimming
there. Oh,
yesterday.
they flopped.
The
They
2 hour,
meant to
the 2
lose.
hour is approaching. Okay, before we get there, fellas, the World Cup is over for the United States men's national team. Have you been watching any of this?
As often as possible. And I woke up, went down. We had a watch party just down the street from me, 7 o'clock in the morning. It was fantastic. But
After we stayed up till 1 in the
Until
morning
1 o'clock,
playing
yeah.
dominoes, Brett.
yeah. So it was disappointing. There was a point in time I thought they were going to start making a run back at it, but
Burns, you ever wonder what the get-togethers are like?
I do. What
They're
is it
fun.
like? Yeah,
They're
it
fun.
sounds
They
like
good
it. Sounds like a
times?
good old
Yeah,
time.
we have a good time.
You guys ought to videotape it one time. Let's see
Maybe,
what goes
yeah,
on
just
in
show
there.
us.
Yeah, we can.
Just give us a little look in
You guys could subscribe if you want.
to your
It's
parties.
fine. Yeah.
Jeff,
You
I
can
know
find us on the YouTube.
You watched all the games there.
I did.
A rough finish.
Well, I think we got to go with a start. Pulisic breaks loose with 2 minutes into the game and misses a open goal. Kicks it right at the goalie.
it seems
That's
like
never a good sign.
every time it seems like we were going right at the goalie. Like there's just a difference in the way some of these other teams, their touches and the way they're passing and the way they're getting it in. We always seem to like get intercepted right down at the. It's like
They're not using the triangle.
yeah, they're not using the triangle.
They've got
Well,
to use the triangles.
The U.S. is going to be good
They are.
for a long time.
I thought they
They're
played
young. The Dutch is really good.
Yeah, I think
though.
that's one thing I noticed.
That's
You
the one
notice-
thing you got to realize. Like the
You notice
Netherlands is a
one team's been playing together
Yeah.
for a while. And
yes, very much so.
a little more experienced team. But all in all, I
I'm
thought
having a tough time focusing with all this shit on.
Are you guys going to watch anymore, or are you done watching?
no,
Oh, I'm-
I watched today.
You're still in?
So
Absolutely.
I'm an Argentina fan. Like,
Okay.
have been for last 12 years since Elizabeth and I had gone down to Argentina. It was right when Messi was really starting to come on. Bought my son a Messi jersey, and then have just been an Argentina fan ever since. So I'm all in. I'm glad that we don't have to face them because it was going to call into question a lot
Your
of my
loyalty.
But I mean, I would.
you're lying, right? You're just kidding.
No,
What
I'm dead-
about
I'm dead serious.
Brazil?
They look good.
Brazil.
Would they win 4-0 or
4-1. 4-1.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I just saw the score.
Still a couple weeks left, right? You got the
Yeah.
quarter still, and then semis.
PKs. Japan lost in PKs today
I didn't see that one. So
to Croatia.
Japan has always been my favorite Asia team. I like to have a team on every continent.
That's smart.
And Japan is
You
my,
always win that way.
Japan is my Asia team. Usually Germany's my
European.
team. I'm right between Cameroon and Senegal.
why Germany?
I mean that's
Why Germany?
By the Jiminy.
they have the best announcers. Like, we heard that last week or 2 weeks ago.
so. My buddy Nick Hughes was a big Germany fan when I first started getting into World Cup soccer down in Santa Barbara, and he was a fraternity brother of mine, and I think I just picked that up from him. And I'm German. I mean, just because I have the
Hey,
red hair,
I-
it's not
I think
always
you're
Scots and
right.
Irish, right? Yeah,
think you're-
everyone thinks I'm Irish.
I'm German also, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Yeah. So
We all would have been German had America not got into World War II. So it's okay.
beautiful. So yeah, U.S. is out. But I think Jeff's right. I think the future is bright, and then it's in the States. The next go around, right?
It is. We'll be on home turf
So that'll be fun.
Where at? L.A.?
I would assume L.A. is going to be.
in writing. Parents, we don't. This is an unscripted podcast.
So it's going to be all
We don't know
throughout,
those
all
questions.
throughout North
Look, I
America,
can't even
Canada.
take you serious.
Kind of
with
like they
that.
did the Olympics.
That little visor.
Yeah, so it'll be
It's
Canada,
so
America,
cute.
and Mexico.
You look like you should be rooting your kids on
Let this
Saturday
pass.
morning.
Let this pass.
Well, like you're the mom, the team mom over here with that visor.
Okay. Look at
The team
he's
mom.
making himself laugh.
Oh, look at that.
Burnsy.
You're cute.
Bakery,
All
right? We should bakery. Anyways,
Yes.
I do also think, I mean, when you're watching kind of the progression of U.S. soccer, when we were growing up, it was all rec leagues, like a little bit of travel ball. Now you're starting to see, and because of the MLS having academies and different things coming up like that we're starting to get better on the international stage, just in the development of our program, which we never had that development before.
Yeah.
We'd have to
I noticed some guys.
Well, the 16U team
Yeah.
went. They went 2-1 this last weekend. They beat Germany, right? And who else did they beat? Somebody big. And then they drew against England. I think it was a draw, but they had 2 wins. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So the
Something
future's
coming.
bright. is what you're
The future
saying.
is bright.
It is bright. That's a young team, and everybody's giving the coach shit. I don't
For
know
what?
I don't know enough about that level of soccer to be able to criticize him or not. But I will say that defense was awful in the Netherlands game. Like the game plan, whatever it was, he threw that shit out the window within the first goal after the first goal.
You shouldn't look around to see if someone's open behind you. Is that?
No. And then the one thing I will like to say, though, is the goalie, and I think I said this, he makes me extremely nervous. And I was happy to hear that the announcers were like, hey, U.S. fans, he's under control. He knows what he's doing. No, he doesn't. He doesn't look at all like he knows what the hell he's doing. He looks like he's going to give the ball up.
What's he do?
No, when the ball gets kicked back to him, and he's just
Dribbling it around.
yeah. No sense of urgency whatsoever. All right. Well, U.S. is out.
Next.
Dang
Next.
No, I wanted to bring up the World Cup. We'd been talking about it, so I just wanted to make sure we highlight the United States.
Good effort.
But even more importantly, American football. A lot going on, guys. A lot to talk
Are you
about.
We're gonna skip straight to American? Are you talking about
Football.
the National Football League
the
or
college
collegiate athletics?
college football. Okay.
Okay.
We'll open it up with the Dogs. Fresno State
Go Dogs.
wins
Go
the
Dogs.
Mountain West championship in Boise.
What better place to win it?
And I mean, the score, honestly, to me, at that second half, but it finished like tighter than I think it really was.
Yeah, they dominated pretty much the whole game.
I didn't think Boise's offense was going to beat that team. I mean, Fresno State's defense was great. I mean, the offense was like slow moving.
Well, we made him throw the ball,
yeah.
and that was the key to victory. I think is not letting him get loose and run, because we have a tough time with mobile quarterbacks. We always have.
Well, the running back
Going back to the Kaepernick days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. Kaepernick.
I almost made
He was
Jeff
good
Weir.
at Nevada.
He was good.
He was good with
And
the
he beat
Niners.
Boise,
I
they
wouldn't
beat
have wore
Boise
that.
State, and it was a
I
big.
know.
And he was good with the Niners for a while.
It was a big win against Boise State. I think actually ended up helping the Dogs his last year. But I there were a couple things like, I don't know. There was just parts of that game where it's like, is the offense going to get going? Is it going to get going? It finally did. A couple big penalties late. There was that punt running into the kicker that gave the Dogs a first down.
Yep.
And then from there
Let
on,
go score.
it kind of felt like that was it.
Yeah.
They went and scored, and I think they scored 2 or 3 more times after
Remigio,
that.
the first touchdown was special teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remigio, 70 yards on a punt return.
And that's what happens in those kinds of games. I mean, it's always it's back and forth. It's when someone finally breaks it out, and
Yeah.
and
The momentum shifts.
yeah, and it's a real thing. I mean, that momentum, you can feel it.
Yeah.
It's, on the sidelines, when you're feeling down. I mean, I'm not going to jump too quick ahead, but I mean, you saw when Tom Brady had the ball in his hand at the end of this game,
Yeah.
and everyone knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Even
you can-
on
you
fourth
can
down
feel
and
it, yeah.
3 seconds to go.
Right.
I will say this about that game. And listen, I'm not one to take shots at Boise State. What, you can't pack the stadium on a day game on a Saturday?
Yeah.
For
I mean,
a
that
conference championship?
That's ridiculous. That was ridiculous. I mean, if that was in Fresno, tickets would have been sold out within 3 days.
They would have
Standing
been
room only.
The tailgating would have started Friday night.
Yes, and the tailgates would have been packed. There would have been watch parties in the, at tailgates. I mean, it would have been crazy because not enough people could have got tickets to get into the stadium.
It's a championship. It doesn't even matter if you like.
You saw it, right?
Yeah,
You see the
it was ridiculous. I don't have any words for it.
But their attendance has been down all year. We led the Mountain West,
yes.
so I don't know what it is. Is it that they're not playing for a BCS championship? They're not in a BCS bowl.
They're not undefeated
anymore. They're not undefeated. Is Boise fair weather too?
Maybe they hate the blue field too.
Maybe.
I do.
I do.
I sure do.
It's got.
I don't know how that's
I
not
hate that.
illegal.
But we
Yeah.
kicked
It
the
doesn't make
shit
any
out of
sense to
them
me.
twice now on the blue turf with Tedford.
Now,
So give Tedford credit because what he did with his team was remarkable. It really was.
in all fairness, we beat them on the white field the last time.
It was
It was
snowing.
snowing. It was
Well, yeah. But I mean, you could do Snow Angels. It was blue still. Underneath.
Yeah, there was blue in there, right?
The Smurfs were still there.
So the Dogs get it done.
So I also feel like it should be illegal that Boise got that and not University of Kentucky. Because if anyone should have a Kentucky bluegrass field, it should be University of Kentucky. They're blue. I think
Isn't Eastern Washington or somebody's red?
Red.
Yeah.
Washington. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
It's somewhere up there.
Yeah. Well, the Dogs got it done. Mountain West champs heading to the LA Bowl December 17th to take on the Washington State Cougars. Obviously, we're all rolling with the Dogs. Anybody going? Are you going?
No.
You going?
I unfortunately can't.
Are
go.
we going, Burns?
We have-
Let's do it.
Let's go. Party at 2.
That's right.
all right. Well,
It'd
you
be a
guys
fun
have
ride.
fun.
Yeah. Why don't you go?
I have another event
What is that
that
event?
I can't go to this event.
What is it?
It's a party.
We're not invited. Let's go to
Yeah.
Bulldogs.
No, you guys. It's not my party.
Purdy?
No.
Purdy.
No.
You gotta
Again,
purdy
we're
mouth.
getting there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm taking all the pot shots I
that's
can.
fine.
Every
Please.
half time.
Please do.
It's irrelevant.
Jeff's gonna catch straight.
He's irrelevant. He really truly is
Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to continue the
Lost my train of thought.
college football lane.
It's all this shit I have on.
You had all the conference champions. Yeah, it's atrocious. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I know it is. Thanks.
You sound smarter than any other podcast I've ever heard.
College football had all the conference championships over this weekend with your top four. Georgia routed LSU Saturday night. Michigan had a rough first half, pulled it out.
The shit out of the Boilermakers in the second half.
Ended up whooping them pretty good.
Boilermakers.
And then you had TCU go down in the Big 12
What a
tournament
game.
to Kansas State in overtime.
Great game. Their quarterback he left it literally all on the field.
Yeah.
I was
and
worried
he's
for that
a Heisman
kid.
finalist.
Yeah, he should be. And
Yeah. What a stud,
his
man.
draft stock just went way up.
Yeah, it
That
did.
guy's a baller. He could do no more. I mean,
And I think we talked about it on here. I think I mentioned that I don't.
Did you mention USC got the shit kicked out of
I'm
them
going
too?
to.
Okay.
Going to.
All right.
USC got the shit kicked out of them
That a boy.
by Utah again.
Again.
And it just was an ass kicking, a good old fashioned.
It was really close in the first half, and man, Utah. just
USC had
routed them.
opportunities. They had 2 turnovers, or
Didn't
I
they
think a
go
turnover
for
and
it
a
in their
punt.
own
Dude, they
territory
couldn't
on
tackle.
fourth down?
They couldn't tackle.
And
was USC's
towards
problem.
the end of that second half, when they didn't capitalize on one turnover, they kicked the ball back, and Utah just went and scored again right before half, and then I was like, oh, this thing's over. They're not coming, and they weren't. They didn't come. I know the kid was playing hurt, Williams from USC. I don't know what the injury was. Somebody said something with his hamstring, but
Yeah.
He's a Heisman finalist too, right?
I believe he is.
Yes.
that's gonna hurt.
You think it will?
Yeah, that'll hurt.
And I thought he was the guy going into it. Had they won, I think it was kind of a no-brainer. He was at
I thought so too.
40,
Yeah, for sure.
to 2, and his numbers were ridiculous. And I think he's coming back, right? He still has another year. I'm not sure. I thought
Malachi's
Who
going to be
knows?
there. So
And who knows how many
yeah.
years people have anymore?
Right.
yeah.
What's his name? Adrian Martinez from Nebraska.
State?
Yeah,
Yeah, to Kansas.
feels like he's been in the NCAA for like 8 years.
It's been a bit, I guess. I mean, you had COVID, right? So I think guys had.
An extra year.
Well, do you think he was a grad transfer? Anyways?
Well, Hayner's a 6-year.
Yeah, Hayner is
senior.
also
Van Wilders.
But
So USC, I knew once they lost, we kind of figured that if they don't win, they're done.
right.
TCU, on the other hand, I felt like if they lost, even if it was not as close as it was, they were sticking in the top 4. And I think they did the right thing. Obviously, Georgia and Michigan took care of business. They're top 2. TCU is going in at 3. And it kills me to even
Okay.
say it.
the
Go ahead. I'm not saying it.
Ohio State.
So what are you? Now
Okay.
you're going Ohio State now?
No, I'm just going against you.
You're going Ohio State now?
Yeah, now I am.
And then
Here-
last
now-
week you were going for
now I am.
Michigan, and this
Now
week
it's
I'm going for Ohio State.
I'm going for Ohio State.
You can go to Fresno State by yourself.
Over Georgia. You guys like Georgia more?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean,
fight.
Yeah, let's go.
okay.
Let's do it.
Here's the problem, and they just solved it, thank God, with the 12-team playoff. Okay?
Yeah.
But how in the hell can Ohio State not even play for their own championship in their own conference, but they can play for a national championship? Explain to me in any way, shape, or form how in the fuck a team cannot play for their own conference championship.
Based
But
on
they
the
get a
based
chance-
on the rankings last week, who should be ahead of them? Because they were ranked right there.
Utah.
Utah should be.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend.
Legitimately, let's give.
But you think a
let's-
3-loss Utah should jump into
Okay, Utah lost their first game of the year in overtime to Florida. They lost to Oregon at the time, who was 5. Okay, and I can't remember their third loss, but probably UCLA.
So who did Ohio State lose to?
all
Michigan?
ranked in the top 10 at
That's
the
it.
time.
So why don't they get in?
They do get in according to this format, but
Yeah.
you don't even get to play for your own conference championship.
No, what's even worse than
because
that
you're
is-
on separate sides. Here's the thing. It's a conference. Okay? The best 2 teams were Michigan and Ohio State. Purdue had no business being in that game. Okay? Just the way that the divisions are set up, they get to play in it. Right? They had no business being there. They proved that in the second half. Ohio State, if you're going to put them in to the national championship, contention, then you let them play in the championship game. If you're going to keep the conferences the way they are, okay, now it's not going to matter because there's 12 teams playing in the playoff. But the way that it is right now, it's just shitty for you can't even hoist your own trophy for your own conference. Yet you can win a national championship.
And nothing.
Yeah, but
it's always
but
bugged me.
in the NFL, in the MLB, you cannot hoist your own trophy for your division and still win a World Series or a Super Bowl.
But you're playing in a playoff with 7 other teams.
They're calling this a playoff. It's 4 teams, but they're calling it a playoff.
You got to win 2 games.
Yeah, but there's
You
not
don't
a
have to win
committee. There's
4.
not a committee putting in
I agree.
the
I think
teams
it's-
in baseball. There's not a committee picking teams for football. It's not a committee.
I agree,
Well,
but
it
the
is
way
now,
the format is,
Not in Major League Sports. It's
No,
not.
no.
That's the difference.
This was 13 humans deciding who
That's
got
what
the
I'm
4th
saying.
spot.
That's what I'm saying.
Which
The worst
Okay.
part isn't even not being able to hold your own trophy up. Like they get an extra game off. Like nothing bad could have happened to Ohio
Exactly.
State last week, right?
Exactly.
So they could have been playing for the third place
Consolation.
in there. Yeah, right, against 3 and 4 in the Big Ten, and then there could have been an opportunity for them to lose, but nothing bad could have happened last week.
exactly, and
So
that's what bugs me.
That's unfair.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, a team like USC.
Because if you're gonna count these games, your conference championship or your
As a regular
as
season
a regular
game?
season game, that the win and loss matters, but you don't have that same number of games for Ohio State.
There's the answer right
Yeah.
there. The regular season is over at the regular season.
Yeah.
Play
Whether
the
you-
championship game.
So who do you-
But it
you
has
put
no
in Utah?
bearing on what happens in the playoff.
Or you put in a Clemson.
Exactly. There, 2-loss Clemson
With a
would, to
conference
me,
title.
Even though Clemson is shitty this year, okay, there's no arguing. that
Ranked
Clemson,
what? Number 9 in the country?
Whatever, they suck this year compared to what they've been in the past. Okay?
Compared to
they're
the
playing in a
top
weak
4.
conference.
Then Alabama sucks too.
Yes, they do.
As long as we're
Well, we'll get to him.
okay.
We'll get to him. To Nick Saban because he's a joke.
So I'm saying
He's
instead
been
of
a joke.
instead of
He's still
Ohio
a joke.
State,
Yeah.
And now he just made a fool of himself on national TV, saying that the 4 best teams should be in. You lost 2 fucking games. You lost to Tennessee. You took
lost to LSU.
Texas to the wire with their 3rd string quarterback.
Lost LSU.
You lost to LSU, and you think you should be there?
I mean, did they lose LSU in overtime?
Doesn't matter.
I'm just
you lost the
asking.
fucking
Fuck,
game.
I'm just
But,
asking.
hey, here's what I'm
He's
saying.
ready
no,
to go.
No, I'm sick of him.
Simmer down. Well, he said so. He said that
He had no
wanted his
business
team to
arguing.
have an opportunity, and I told
He's
Jeff.
had enough opportunities.
Well, your
My God,
season
let's-
was your opportunity,
Yeah.
and Georgia went undefeated, and they took advantage of that opportunity.
is anybody going to beat Georgia? That's the question. I don't think anybody.
Michigan can.
You think so?
Yes, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be Michigan and Georgia, and
Because Georgia has just dominated this year, aside from 1 or 2 games, right?
Yeah, the SEC conference was down this year too, though.
Yeah, but still, it's the SEC. You can say that
No,
all day long, and they still had
Agreed.
how many guys or how many teams in the top 10?
Well, when you have LSU playing in the championship game, it's kind of a weak conference. Alabama's not there.
But
Ole Miss fizzled at the end.
you think Ohio
Auburn's
State
down.
and Michigan in the SEC this year would have run the table and just dominated the way that Georgia did? Let's
Yeah.
just say Michigan. You think Michigan would have?
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't they almost lose to some like
It's
Idaho?
college football. They can lose at any time. They almost lost to Illinois. It was a
Illinois, that's
last
what it
minute
was.
field goal, and Illinois is good.
But are
They're a
they
good team.
SEC good? You're saying the SEC's down.
No.
I think the SEC's still.
We're
yeah,
jumping
good.
all over the place. They're in the Big Ten.
No,
You said if Michigan went into the SEC, would they have
Yes.
dominated like Georgia?
Right.
In that division, yes. In
You think they
Georgia's
would've?
division, they would have, yes.
the reason that I jumped all over the place is because I was saying that there's not, like you said, Illinois is good. Well, look at their division. They weren't playing SEC teams all year long.
No.
Like they just beat each other up.
But you have Penn State, you've got Michigan, you have Ohio State, you had Minnesota that's good. I mean, there's a lot of
But
good
are they
Big
good
Ten
in the
teams.
SEC is what I'm saying.
Illinois?
All of those
I
teams.
think they're mediocre just like the rest of the SEC was this year.
Vanderbilt sucks.
Florida sucked
Kentucky was okay
for a while.
Auburn wasn't very good. Mississippi State, Texas A&M sucked.
Yeah,
You want me to keep going?
in those divisions,
a-
in that division.
Well,
in
now,
the
so
SEC.
you just said all of
in that
SEC.
SEC.
He already said in Georgia's division, Michigan does well.
Yes.
So pick which one you want it to be. Do you want to be all SC or that division?
I get what you're saying, Kevin.
yeah,
The SEC
But
does
Jeff's
not
right.
suck,
You
right?
asked. You
There's
asked.
still the
if-
bar that everybody. gets
Right.
held
You
against.
asked that.
Yeah.
You
Like, I don't
see.
think I don't think it's fair to say, oh, the SEC sucks. They're beating each other up every single week. It doesn't matter whether they're East, West, North, South. They're all good teams. The SEC has always been good. Big 10, Big 12, yeah, they have some good teams. It's not good from top to bottom like SEC is every year. Maybe at the bottom this year they weren't quite as good, but still they're really good programs.
Nobody said that.
The SEC is a really good conference. This year, though, was what you started with. It is a down year for the SEC.
It wasn't a great.
When you don't see Alabama in the playoff,
Thank God.
okay? You have one SEC team that was knocking on the
The
door.
number one
The
ranked
rest of them
recruiting
were not.
school was 2 games under 500.
The number 2 team lost 2 games.
And
Alabama.
that team that was
Shoulda
2
lost
games
3.
under 500 could have beat anybody at any moment. Wouldn't you agree? Because that's where they're at.
So then Michigan could have rolled in.
They could have. I just don't think that there's. I think it's going to be a good
I'll
game.
tell you what.
if they
You
play
Just
each
go
other.
and fucking you go
Just
root on
shut your
Ohio
mouth.
State. Ohio
You know
State
what? You
and
got a
watch your lips.
UConn hat on, and we lost to them this
Yeah,
year.
they got
as a
more
Bulldog.
8 wins.
Good
Bowl
Lord.
eligible.
Yeah, they are bowl eligible.
It was $5.
But-
You bought the shit for $5.
I'll tell you what, Bernsey, we're going to find out because Michigan will play Georgia. Because Ohio State will not beat Georgia. But if they do, we're going to see Michigan, Ohio State. Because there is no way TCU is beating Michigan. It's not happening. No way. The defense is too fucking good. It really is.
Do you have a pick? You're going to Ohio State. Who are you going to pick?
I'm not going to Ohio State. What are you talking? I'm going
believe
Georgia.
Dude.
You shut your purdy little mouth.
Not right now, no. I want to see the first weekend play out.
So you want to pick when
Michigan over Georgia.
I will say this: if it is Georgia and anybody but Michigan, Georgia's going to kick the shit out of those 2 teams.
Even in a down SEC year?
Well, they're playing Ohio State, so it would be TCU basically, right?
Well, you can't do that because you already admitted that SEC.
No, you know what? Fuck it, I'm taking Michigan.
Well, you should. 'Cause
already
you just said
the
there's no
SEC
way
was down.
TCU's beating them. That's what I was going to say. You said no
but
way.
That
Georgia
doesn't
could
mean
beat them.
that Michigan's
But
gonna do
Georgia
the same
could
thing
beat
that-
them
Why is he not picking them?
because they may not beat Georgia, but I
No,
just
no.
said they're going to beat them now.
But prior to
The
that,
pick
you said
is
if it's Michigan, you beer me, huh?
Michigan.
Jeffrey
Where's my headgear?
Heineke.
This is an empty one. I need Heineke.
He needs a Taylor Heineke.
Heineke.
So if
They're
Ohio
right
State
here by your kneecap.
if Ohio State wins, or are you wearing any Ohio State gear?
Absolutely not. I'll set it on fire here. I don't have problems doing that. So you're going to take
I
Michigan?
take Michigan.
You can wait if you want to.
No, I'm not going to wait. I'm going Michigan.
Who are you going to take?
I want to see
Georgia.
Harbaugh win one.
I would like to see Michigan, but
I would like
Georgia.
to see Michigan.
Thank you.
Also,
Yeah.
but I think Georgia's going to run it. So
Would anybody be upset if TCU won?
no.
No,
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
As
would
long
too.
as Ohio
I'm
State,
sure you would, Andy.
as long as Ohio State
My alma mater.
loses, I'm fine. I don't care who wins.
Ohio State's losing to Georgia. It's happening. Guaranteed.
It's all I want is them to lose. In other college football news, you've seen a couple coaches being hired, but the big one was Prime Deion Sanders heading to the Buffaloes. I've been watching his kids' little YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. They have the walk through the facility and
Did you watch his press conference?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Did you watch him address his team?
His first time.
Yes,
addressing
I
the
did.
team. Yeah, those kids
Yeah.
were already
Holy
bought in.
shit.
I'm
They were
coming, bro.
already bought in. I mean,
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
I love that he told him, like,
coming.
do what you're going to do. If you're
He's
going to hit that
coming.
portal,
Yeah.
go.
Prime
Right.
time.
I loved it.
Oh, it was phenomenal, dude. I'm pumped up for him. I'm super stoked. And the thing is, like, there's a bunch of Jackson State supporters that are happy for Deion, for Prime. Then there's a bunch that were like, well, the way he left, he brought God into it, and he said that brought him here to do his thing. Well, yeah.
Look what he did.
But he also
look
said
what
about-
he did for it. Yeah. Look what he did for it. Like,
that was my
he
argument.
elevated it to another level. Like,
Yeah, you went 23-5, and then you went undefeated this year.
Yeah.
He's done everything he possibly could for that program, and excited to see what he does at Colorado. I think they're going to be competitive. Maybe not next year. Shit, he may surprise us.
It takes time with the portal now. Look at
But he said,
look at SC.
he said, I got 12 coming. I got 12 coming with me.
I've got positions coming with me.
And
Yeah.
you saw the kid from Clemson, quarterback, is in the portal.
Yeah, can you
Ukulele?
pronounce his last?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Can you
guy from
pronounce
Clemson.
his last name?
Young man from Clemson
Yeah.
will be in the portal.
Ukulele.
Yes, he will. Did you see Barkboard had him in a Fresno State jersey?
Yeah, there's a couple Fresno State media outlets pumping that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why we would be
Well, we'll see.
on,
But
on a big recruit like that's radar. I'd love it. Don't get me wrong, but I just
but college football, we're going to the playoff, 12 teams.
and I think it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Is that next year or 24?
I think it is 24. I think it's 24. But I love it. I because like Tulane, you mentioned earlier, Tulane's in.
Exactly.
They're in the top 12.
Yeah, they would be the 12 seed.
Washington, who nobody's really talked about. And what,
I think they'd be
and
right
DeBoer's done.
out, won't they? They would be.
I think were they 12? I think they were right at 12.
They might have been. But, I mean, you get to see those upsets.
So it's still going to be a committee that picks them?
Yeah, I believe so.
Still to 12, but
It'll be
you have a
the-
whole lot more opportunity to.
Well, and I think
Right.
you had 3 or 4 Pac-12 teams in the top 17.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But to see a team like Kansas State, Utah,
Mm-hmm.
like, was it a fluke? Does USC get a rematch for the third time against Utah?
I think it's going to
Like,
be
those kind of things would be fun to see.
When it
that
comes-
would keep college football exciting.
when it comes
Kansas
in a,
State beating, they were what, 16 coming in?
Yeah.
And they beat TCU. That bumps them
right. Yeah,
11.
Yeah.
You know, now they're in.
they're in.
It's a huge deal. TCU's still in there. I mean, it's fun. It makes it so much more fun for everybody.
When it makes
Absolutely.
the championship games matter more for those type of teams, whereas right now it's just a big upset.
Well, and that's like Whittingham when they interviewed him before the USC game. He's like, yeah, I mean, we got absolutely nothing to lose. USC's already in the playoff. They're number 4. We're not going to beat them. Everything that we want, everything that I've been telling my kids all year long, yeah, we're going to play spoiler, and we are going to beat them, and they're going to be out of the playoff. And sure as shit, that's what happened.
The Pac-12 never wants to see a Pac-12 team in the playoff. It always seems they always want to beat each other. It's like they know what it does to the overall conference.
well, if it's not,
They
if
don't-
it's
they
not
don't-
us,
they don't
it's
care
nobody.
It's like, yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
if
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. But now we're going to get to see some opportunities for
I think the
those
12 team
Cinderellas.
thing does that. Like you said, their 16 seed. It's going to help that team that's finds their way into their conference championship game and wins and propels them to a 10 seed, 11 seed. I think if Fresno State had not lost to like UConn and they're at 3 losses,
What team is that, Jake?
UConn.
Well, if you beat Oregon
know them
State,
well?
which you should have, beat Oregon
You
State.
should have.
They're always on top of your head, aren't they?
You should have beat UConn.
Keep working on them, dog.
Jay,
We got a little
that's
more
an
time.
ugly hat. Even for $5, I would not have somebody pay me for that hat.
So they should have beat
Along
Oregon
with
State.
yours, Jeff. I'm just kidding.
They should have beat UConn.
The break room's
Okay.
over there, bro.
They should have
You need to take
beat
5.
Boise. And I'm just saying, if Hayner's healthy, should have won the Oregon State game. That was not
He was healthy.
anybody's fault. Our kicker shit the bed in that game, right? You guys remind me that was my birthday party.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we also took a timeout late.
Didn't you shit the bed? That
No, I didn't shit the bed. No. I laid in the
They
bed, but I
they
didn't.
had
No. Good.
they had the field goal team,
Good.
a field goal group on to kick a field goal late to tie the game.
Yeah.
Fresno State called timeout. Oregon State ran the offense back on, and they ran it in for a
But to answer your question, they easily could have went 11-1 this year. I think. They really could have.
Yeah, but I'm saying
everybody was
it only happens. It only works in a top 12
I will
type
tell you,
playoff system.
during that little run in the middle after the Oregon State game, after USC, and I mean, it just seemed like the season was just completely lost. And then to be sitting here today, Mountain West champions, I think that's a pretty good turnaround for the season.
Playing in the LA Bowl against the Pac-12 team.
Yeah, I think it shows just how good they were. And that, a couple things go a different way, and they're sitting pretty high up in the rankings. And
absolutely, let's see the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be good for college football.
There's going to be a time that Fresno State is in.
Yes, there will be
the college football playoffs, and that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, watching them in the college football playoff is like watching them in the College World Series.
Exactly. That's what
everybody's
going to
get behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Wonder Dogs.
Hey, before we start talking some NFL stuff, okay, just wanted to play maybe a little game. Nothing crazy, be just a minute, just a few questions, couple true and false. Okay.
I'm usually right on those like 50% of the time.
through week 13. True or false? Okay. The Jets have a better road record than at home. The New York Jets have a better road record
True.
than home record. True or false?
I'd say that's true.
True.
It is true. They are 4-2 on the road, 3-3 at home.
Quit looking at the paper, Burns.
The Chicago Bears, true or false?
False.
Have scored more points this season than the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, look at there. True.
False.
False.
It is true.
Green Bay hasn't scored a lot. I can't even talk now.
No, they really haven't.
Yeah.
Seems like
You're
Christian
wearing
Watson
Niners
has
gear. Yeah.
Scored more than the entire Bears.
Yeah, right.
True or false, the Jags, who are in third place in the AFC South, have scored the most points in their division. That is the Titans, Colts, Jaguars, and Texans. The Jags in third place
That's true.
True.
have scored the most points.
False.
That is true.
Oh, so we're tied.
And by a large margin.
Yeah, the rest of them, they can't score. No one can score.
Tennessee wins with defense and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once they go down, like get behind, they're done because they stop feeding him.
Yeah, exactly.
Feed him.
Feed him.
I know because I have all three of their running backs other than ETN. And I don't score a whole lot right now.
True or false, the Texans have given up more points than the Chicago Bears.
They're both terrible defenses.
False.
Yeah, I feel like it's a trap.
Yeah, you're looking at it like a Scantron. Not everything can be true.
Slaughtered in a few games.
The Texans have given up more points than the Bears. True or false?
So do you think the Bears have given up more?
So I think the Texans.
The Bears have given up more points than the Texans.
Yeah, because the Texans give up so much in the first half that there is no game in the second half. There's usually a game at the Bears, so I'm going to say false.
Is this a game within a game?
Yeah.
I'm going to say false.
The Texans have not given up more points than the Bears.
Good. Tied.
So that is false.
Yeah, because the Bears at least can put together some offense, which leads to having to score again.
Close games.
Versus the Texans where it's like 4-string in by before this a half.
I think their whole team's
so bad.
4-string, but Damian Pierce, man, Florida Gators.
We got a worse one here for you. True or false? The Broncos have scored more points than the Texans.
False.
False.
They are
Way false.
Yeah, it is historically bad.
Yeah.
Let's ride.
The Broncos have not scored more points than the Houston Texans.
God.
The Broncos
Is that the worst trade in sports history?
I just think that something's not clicking. I still think Russell Wilson next year will do okay.
That dude's a weirdo.
No
It's
way.
been pretty
He is,
awful.
but I think
dude.
next year he'll be okay.
Did you see?
No.
I
Did
do.
you see why they let Melvin Gordon go?
No.
The report. So, when they lost in that overtime, and he came in to the locker room and was like, we're all soft in here, and then he goes, "Has anyone in here ever done anything Danger Witch?" And then they were like, and everyone got quiet, and he's like, "No, seriously, have any of you ever done anything Danger Witch?" Like, Russell Wilson's Subway. And then they had to let him go because it got so awkward and so weird. And he just kept, like, even when it was dead silent, he kept, like, flaming Russell Wilson.
That's
and
awesome.
Just kept telling everyone they needed to be more Danger Witch.
Danger Witch. You got more?
Cringe. Yeah, I got it. But
yes, it is the worst trade possibly in NFL history.
Just to throw it out there. Go ahead.
Right now, the Seahawks are going to have, like, the third pick.
Yeah, but also the money involved in that trade, and
they got out of the money.
You're that horrible,
and the Seahawks still get the third pick,
and you have Geno Smith now.
The Lions. They're going to get a really high pick from the Rams too.
Yeah.
From that trade or taking over Goff's contract.
But they didn't.
Let's get a defense, and those sleeping Lions will be awake.
I'll wait until do you think that they draft a quarterback and get
Absolutely
rid of Goff?
Not. No.
You don't think so?
No, they're going to draft defense.
Mm-hmm. They have to. You guys think so too? You think
Goff hasn't been a problem?
Goff is proven to manage the game really well. Like, they've been in a lot of games, even the ones they've lost. He hasn't been the issue.
And they've scored a ton of points.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a tight one early with the Eagles to start the year. Like, they've been in most of the games they played.
I think that if they don't draft a quarterback and they do go with defense, then it's a turning point for that franchise.
I don't think putting up points.
Yeah.
Points haven't been the problem. It's giving up the points has been the problem.
Yes.
But if they draft a quarterback,
how often have those teams that are like perennially bad, the Browns, the Lions, when they go with that quarterback as like to solve everything? It never works out for them.
No. Nope.
And they've got a coach that I think any of us would want to play for.
Yeah.
Just to put out the points there, the Houston Texans have scored 188, and the Broncos have scored 166.
Oh, it's like so
closer than I thought.
It's but the Texans have given up 287. And the Broncos have given up 204. So the defense is pretty good.
The defense has been keeping them in games.
But when you're on the field the whole game, it's kind of hard.
So it's talking about points given up and points scored, point differential. What team has the best net points differential? The Eagles, the Cowboys, the Bills, or the Chiefs?
Cowboys.
It is the Cowboys.
I hate to say that.
It is the Cowboys.
It's the two blowouts.
Yeah.
The two blowouts.
Their net points is 127.
Gross.
So
sucks when they lose in the first round.
Gross. I like
it. Gross.
So you went gross for net. Is that what you were doing there?
Oh no, I didn't. But that's yes, it was.
One more for you guys. Okay, most points scored in the NFL through Week 13. Chiefs are number 1 at 350. Eagles at 338. Cowboys and Chiefs are tied at 333. And then there's two teams that round out the top 6.
Wait, who was number 1?
The Chiefs. Eagles, Cowboys. I'm sorry, Cowboys and
Bengals?
Might have been the Bengals.
Okay.
That were tied. Sorry.
That's all right.
333. There's two more teams to round out the top 6. Could you name?
Dolphins are one of them.
Detroit and Dolphins.
It might be Detroit, actually. Let's do that. Let's go Detroit and Miami.
It is Detroit and Seattle.
Wow. Wow.
318.
Yeah, that is the worst trade of all time.
300.
Now it's looking bad. I retract.
Wow.
318 points.
Okay.
Yeah, Dolphins didn't put up much last week, so that's
they struggled. Who'd they play?
49ers.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Purdy 49ers.
The Dolphins
39ers
haven't even broke 300 yet.
Look at the bitterness on your face.
289. The Seahawks are at 318, and the Lions are 315. That's the numbers, boys.
Okay. Well, Dolphins are fine.
I think they are too.
The reason being is the defense is better than Detroit's going to put up a lot of points because their defense is so bad, and they have to just like match.
Stay up.
They have to score 35 to win.
They've been in so many shootouts.
Yeah.
Before we go into because I want to get to the Niners Dolphins, but before we go there, I have a heater. You and I talked about it today. Is the NFL overtime the worst in all of professional sports?
Yes.
Yes.
There's no
Other than Major League Soccer, because they don't have an overtime and they just let it.
Well,
end.
I brought that up as an argument. In the World Cup, the group stage,
Yeah.
should there be draws? And I know soccer fans are going to be like, absolutely, there should be.
Well, there's
Okay, but
because you get points for it.
no,
right?
I know there's goal
there is
differential.
a-
Yeah, you get.
Well, you get
don't
one-
get
you
negative
get 1 point,
points.
yeah.
So yeah, I get that. But if there's a ton of draws in the group, in a certain group, right, and it comes down to one goal, like in the U.S.'s case, let's just use that. They had given up one goal.
in 3.
Okay, before they played.
The Netherlands,
No,
Iran,
no, Iran.
Iran.
Before they played Iran. Okay, they gave up one goal against Wales on a PK. Okay, and they may not get in. You're playing. You had 2 draws. You're playing. You have to win.
But most
You can't draw.
Yeah.
because you get no points. So
but that's the World Cup.
no, I get that. I get that.
Most
But that
soccer.
was my argument. But I still say yes. The overtime rules are the worst.
But that's the World Cup's
And-
once every 4 years. Right?
Agreed.
Most soccer has overtime into PKs. You
Would you
have a
at least
winner
overtime?
ultimately.
Would you prefer that the regular season is like how they're changing the postseason this year, where both teams get a chance?
Yes,
I do too.
I just think there's no way we should have a fucking tie
we need a winner.
in.
Well, yeah,
in
you
the
saw the
NFL.
Commanders and the
And
Giants.
That's what
they
I
were
brought it
playing
up.
to a tie.
That's a divisional game.
Yeah. And
that
they're-
matters.
Yep.
How can you leave that at a tie? I don't.
Because they both weighed the options and both were like, we'll play for a tie because we
It's
still
not a
stay the
loss.
same.
I'm not talking.
We
I'm
may- we
talking
may
about
both get in.
the
Yeah.
NFL rule.
No, I know, but
I don't care what the teams do. There should
Yeah,
be no ties.
but what he's saying is they're playing for the tie, and they're playing for the tie as an advantage when it comes to playoff seeding. So they may both get in. That's the shitty part about the
the
NFL
rule's
rules
stupid
right
because
now.
of that.
And that's how the Pittsburgh
I don't
Steelers
give
got in.
2
Yeah, last
fucks
year.
about them. I don't care if it was 2 teams in a different division.
No, understood.
A tie period in the NFL
I
is
agree.
stupid.
I agree. Now, I agree with you. But I also agree with what he's saying and how a team like Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, got in only because of the tie. That's how they got into the playoff.
And I think
Had they lost that
waters
game,
down
They're not in.
it waters down the product because who wants to watch 2 teams trying to tie? Nobody. So I'm in agreement with you. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Agreement.
Keep
Agreement.
talking. Keep talking.
Yes.
Agreement. Yeah.
That's all.
He's in agreement with you. But yeah,
Don't
Jake,
disagree.
But Jake,
I don't disagree.
I do.
Jeff.
I 100% agree with you. There should be no ties. At
It
all.
blows my mind that
It's
like
ridiculous.
the most popular sport, arguably, at least in the States.
The most watched sport for
Like,
sure.
really? Like we can have a tie, like nobody wins. It's the only sport that this happens.
Right. Imagine a Major League Baseball game after 9 innings, and they have 162 games.
Yeah.
But they can play 18 innings on a Wednesday night and then turn around and come back and play a 4 o'clock game on Thursday.
They're
So
also
if they, and you have 162 games, that game in particular that you win extra innings in probably doesn't matter.
And I know
Okay, when it
people
comes to
people bitch
playoffs.
about the runner at second, which I don't like it. Okay, I'd rather
The international tiebreaker.
Yes, I'd rather them play it. But it could be like the NFL after 10 innings, it's tied, game's over.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's just say that happens in Major League Baseball, and there's 10 ties. A team ends up with 10 ties. I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal
so there's
because there's going to
that
be
many
many
games.
teams that have ties. There's a lot of extra inning games in baseball.
yeah, the wins still matter so much more in the whole scheme of it because every single game in the NFL is like matters, right?
Yeah.
There's not and
True.
so So the difference between playing through all the different extra innings and then still having to play the next Thursday, yeah, you might be tired, but the likelihood of serious injury that comes on the football field. So I think this is like a big part of like their bargaining agreement that you can't have anything outside of that, right?
But we added more games to the season.
I know, but
They're playing more games than they've ever played.
And they added an extra playoff team on both sides.
And they changed the overtime for the playoffs for each team to possess the ball.
But here's the thing, and this is why I say ties need to go away in the regular season. Okay, not only the Pittsburgh Steelers, but because it was a conference game. Okay, so it goes down to wins-loss, and then it's conference record, and then it's head-to-head. So
tiebreakers.
the tiebreaker for the Giants, you beat the Commanders, right? Fuck, go ahead, tie them. You're going to move in. If it comes down to a half game, the Giants are going to get the leverage. So Brian Dable, in that retrospect, he would win.
Analytics.
So he's playing he's playing the analytics, he's playing the tie, so he doesn't lose. You lose to the Commanders, now that means nothing. You split.
What would be the solution
then it goes
for
to the
you
fourth
aside
tiebreaker.
from because
So at the end of the whoever has
Just
more
create
yards,
a way to break the tie.
whoever has more yards.
Like I said, Major League
More
Baseball
yards.
decided to throw a guy at second base.
so
Do it like college football.
start
I
them
don't
at the
care.
40, 30 or something.
Midfield, who cares?
Oklahoma drill, and you put your best guy. It's
7 on 7.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah,
It's Lawrence Taylor. Good luck.
7 on. Let's do a little 7 on 7, little backyard.
Little flag football.
Yeah, everyone throws their pads off. It's flag
Yeah.
at that point, and see who gets there.
Whose cheerleaders dance better?
I'm with you, Jake. It needs to go away.
I mean, I've heard people say use the field goal kickers. I don't know if I would agree with that, but
No.
They could be hated a lot as it is.
But I think to leave it a tie is ridiculous.
It is.
It needs to stop.
See who could throw farther. Take your quarterback. See
Why? Just something. Who cares?
coin flip.
Tua
Their
can-
best
There you
receiver
go.
Tua
versus
can
their
throw
best
further than
corner, and
Purdy. He proved that yesterday.
I don't know. I mean, you could.
That's all he proved.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but he didn't prove much more.
No, he had
so
a bad game.
yesterday, Sunday, it is Monday night. The only game that matters at this table is that the Niners beat the Dolphins in San Francisco.
Score one for the good guys.
What was the
Well,
final?
you know,
What was
hey-
the final score, Mr. Frazier?
Was it 33 to
17.
yeah.
Yeah, and Skylar Thompson came in and threw a pick on the 20-yard line, and that's how they scored that last touchdown. But, they were all in a panic.
What was the final score,
Hang on.
Brett?
Stand by. Stand by.
Remember all those excuses?
Hang on. Everybody was very quiet at the restaurant we were at yesterday when Mike Gesicki had his arm pinned down and had his shoulder pad and his helmet protecting a ball. Okay,
We're going with the
but
refs.
but here's what I'm
That's
saying.
our excuse.
That was a one-possession game. They were up by
At
6
that point in
points
time.
on the 40-yard line.
At that point in time,
and they're
it
going
was.
fourth and 2, and all of these guys were like, "Holy shit!" Because
looked like
they were
a catch
driving.
until we saw it.
The final score, what I'm getting at, is the final score didn't attribute to how that game really was. That was a lot closer game than what the final score was. Now,
So was the Bills and the Dolphins.
No, it was there was I had brought
That
over,
wasn't the shit you were talking.
I had
6
brought
weeks
over-
ago.
I'm not talking any shit. Tua played
And it was
awful.
a backup to a backup quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. He did nothing but manage the game
He
really
won.
well.
Two touchdowns.
No,
Gotta win.
Christian
Two
McCaffrey had
touchdowns,
160 yards.
Yeah, that's why you bring him in. He would have had that with.
Did he throw it to
Garoppolo,
himself?
Maybe.
A lot of
Maybe
it
he would
was-
have.
Did he throw it to himself? Did he throw it to himself?
Purdy did
He
not
threw
have
a lot of
of
5-yard passes.
He did not have a lot of zip on his ball, and I mean, sometimes I'd watch it and I was like, it was just kind of going in.
I told you it looked like he was throwing a frisbee.
It did. I was like, my God, this is going to be picked by like 5 different people. They could have touched it. It was like pixelated on the screen. When they tried to do it in slow motion, like the ball looked like it wasn't moving. But
You
but
guys
he made
heard
good
it.
decisions. He the whole time he wasn't trying to force things. He managed the game well, and that's all you really need. I mean, if you go back and you look at what Shanahan has done with mediocre quarterbacks, like
Save it. He's not doing that with Purdy. I don't care what happened in that game.
so
I mean,
He will
Garoppolo went
not.
out on like the first drive.
I hear what you're saying.
the most yards.
Jimmy Garoppolo got a lot of money. So tell me a quarterback in San Francisco when he was a head coach that was a young quarterback that was not groomed that he did that to.
Hold on.
Give me one.
How long's he been there
Nick Mullins, and I'm going to give you a great stat.
He did come in and back up pretty well.
Yeah, he did. That was a good
There's
defense
one.
too.
There's one.
Oh, and we got a really
Where is he now?
I don't
When
know.
you groom somebody to be a good quarterback,
But he wasn't groomed in
you
Frisco.
still have a job.
But he wasn't groomed in Frisco.
Here's the thing. Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. I've said it on here. I've also said that the Niners were going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not butthurt about them losing to the Niners. As bad as this sucks, losing to the Niners, I can
butt doesn't
stomach
hurt.
a lot more than losing to the Jets or losing to the Bills. Okay? It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because we don't have to play them until the Super Bowl again if both teams get there. Jimmy Garoppolo getting hurt sucked. The outcome of that game, either way, had the Dolphins won, it would have been, oh, well, Garoppolo didn't play. Well, now it's, well, Purdy came in and they won. Mr. Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is,
Pretty relevant on Sunday.
and I said this, I don't want Garoppolo out of the game.
Yeah,
you guys
said,
were there.
You said it that
you
day.
heard me.
I agree.
I wanted them to
But then
play.
you were probably like,
with
I don't
Garoppolo.
want Purdy in this game.
No,
After
I didn't want
about halfway
McCaffrey in
through
this
it.
game, and I
Yeah.
said that before kickoff. That McCaffrey was going to be the difference maker plus that defense. And that defense looked a lot better because Tua overthrew his receivers all day long.
But did he overthrow because he was under pressure?
No.
You don't think
He
so?
got pressured, and he got sacked several times, more in this game than he has all year.
Is that the best
But
defense he's played all year?
That's the best defense he's going to play all year.
Okay.
Okay, unless they play again in February. Then he'll play him again. But he's not going to play a defense that good. And if the Niners go deep, which I still think they will, okay?
I think he played a good Bengals defense.
Yeah. And what did he do the first fucking drive? Take him down 80 yards?
He did that.
He did that-
he did that yesterday.
too.
You know,
First
he
play
did
of the
that in
game.
10 seconds yesterday.
I know.
And then he missed the rest of them that were right there.
You know what sucks is I like Tua and I want to root for him, but it just
You're going
I
to have
can't.
bad days.
Did he ruin it for you?
Yeah, I can't with you. I can't.
I like
Dolphins
Tua.
podcast.
I like
.com.
Tua, and I like the Dolphins.
What if? Do you think?
Here's the thing. This
doesn't wanna
doesn't
hear it.
bother me that much to wear this. And I will say this. My family grew up as Niner fans. So I don't hate the Niners. Okay? But I will tell it like it is, like last year, that Jimmy was going to ruin their season, which he did. Okay? Brock Purdy is not an answer.
He's not.
He will not take them
Nobody
deep,
here
deep,
said that
okay?
though.
I know that. But what
I
I'm saying
did
is we
say
got to talk
yesterday-
about them now. We got to talk about them now. That game's over. They beat the Dolphins. Fair and square, great. I can.
Now is pretty close to yesterday, though.
Yeah. And I'm saying that they outplayed them.
There is a big difference of a backup quarterback coming in the middle of the game with all the adrenaline, no time to think about making any mistakes, just managing the game.
And what did I tell you this morning?
And
Not
and
that.
Oh, bullshit.
When did you say that? What did you
Okay,
tell me?
Go ahead.
You tell me
No,
what.
you got a good point. Go ahead.
so this week when he's the guy and he's having to like think about it and like think about all the things that he could miss, like it's much harder to do that.
Yeah, the
versus,
prep and all that.
Coming,
Yeah.
You're
coming
absolutely
in.
right, Brett. And Jake, whether
Because
he
he
wants to admit it or not, we had this conversation this morning, and I referenced Mike White and how he came out last year and had a hell of a game, and then what did he do? Right? And I said, Purdy's going to do the same thing.
But you don't know that.
No, he may be fine because he's got a hell of a defense. And he's got one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in all of the NFL.
You can't make that statement.
I can make
did
that
also-
statement
No.
because he's wearing all this shit that I'm wearing.
Because he's
and
not
he
on the
made it.
Jets. That's why you can't make that statement.
no.
It's a different,
Look.
whole different ballgame. This offense is not built around a quarterback. I told you that.
Okay.
The Niners don't need. Obviously,
they've proven
don't
it.
need
They've proven it
a
because Jimmy
high,
G.
high level quarterback, elite, whatever you want to call it.
You're right. They don't need that. But if they want to win the Super Bowl, they do.
I
And
would agree with
Jimmy G
that.
is not the guy.
Jimmy G's not
Okay.
the guy.
He's
could've-
had a
he
hell
could've
of a
made
season.
He could have made a great run this year.
He probably could have won the Super Bowl this year. Okay. I said the Niners were going to play the Bills in the Super Bowl. I said it before the season. I said it mid-season. I'm not changing any of that. But what I'm not going to listen to from anybody, listeners, you guys, that Kyle Shanahan outcoached Mike McDaniel yesterday, because that absolutely did not happen. Okay?
The players
because that game was down to one possession with 2 minutes left. And Tua missed in the middle of the field 7 times. 7 times.
Watch your lips.
So he wasn't outcoached.
So,
because that middle of the field was wide open, and you saw it because you were worried about it.
I was
But
nervous about it.
Shanahan winning that game yesterday with a
He didn't win
third-string
that
quarterback.
game. He didn't win that game.
Okay, so but McDaniel wins all the games.
He didn't get outcoached.
Come on.
You missed the middle of the field,
They
and
won.
you missed half the game.
They
so
won.
you commenting
They
is
won.
Who gave up the points, the defense or the offense?
both.
So
Both
You-
gave
you-
up points.
nobody
Shanahan
got
outcoached
outcoached.
You guys are you're
He
missing what
outcoached
I
him.
said.
No, our
The middle of the field was wide open for the Dolphins all game long. All game. And what happened? In 10 seconds, they scored. The other 6 times,
How many carries did Jeff Wilson have?
1.
They got outcoached.
No. How?
Your running back had one fucking carry.
Mostert, what did Mostert do the last 2 drives?
Did he fumble?
No.
No,
He did
Tua
not.
did.
He did not fumble. Bosa fucking ripped it out of his hand. That's not. It wasn't Mostert. Because
gotta coach better. You gotta
Mostert was
gotta
going
hold it.
10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, 8 yards.
You gotta get it in there.
So
3 points of contact.
So
High and tight.
here's what I'm saying. You guys said from
Less
the very
Dungeons
beginning.
and Dragons,
No, you said
more
from the very
football.
beginning the Dolphins weren't going to do shit. You
Who
guys
said that?
You guys said in 6 weeks that they would be 3 and 3.
And we could talk shit. You told us we could do that.
Right. And now it's week 13 and they're still in the playoffs. And they're 1 game out in their division because Buffalo has a shit schedule until they have to play Miami again.
In Buffalo.
But they are going to play Cincinnati. This is going to get very interesting for the Chiefs, for the Bengals, for the Dolphins. Now, I will give credit to the Niners. Okay?
And that
because
coaching staff.
I don't hate the Niners.
'cause you're faithful.
And I think
That's right.
that the Niners have a recipe for something that is going to be great. Purdy is not going to be the answer.
So do they need to go out and get Baker Mayfield?
No, fuck no.
So if you
the
watch,
last guy you want on your
Cam
team
Newton.
is Baker Mayfield.
I would think
I don't give a shit what
McCaffrey,
team.
I don't want-
McCaffrey's probably
Colin
saying
Kaepernick.
no.
No.
God no,
Hell no.
no.
No, ride with Purdy, dude. All you have to do is keep your defense. Your defense is going
He
to
can't
keep you
get
in
you there.
games.
You just said he can't get him there.
We signed
Okay.
Josh Johnson off of the.
Do you think
Oh,
that
that's right.
Off of
they
the
just
Denver Broncos.
won?
Dude, they're not going to beat the Eagles with Purdy as their quarterback. I'll bet you guys right here.
We
I'll
tell
wear
That to
whatever
Taylor
the fuck you want
fucking
me to wear.
Heineke.
Yeah, I'll wear whatever you want me to wear.
Who beat?
I
who
agree
beat-
with that.
who
I don't
the
think they
Eagles?
beat
Who
the
beat
Eagles.
I
beat the
think-
Eagles?
I think we beat the Eagles. I think we don't. And the hardest thing for me to say is the team I'm worried about the most is the Cowboys in the NFC right now because they're built exactly like us. Only they have Dak Prescott and we have Brock Purdy, maybe Josh Johnson.
But the numbers yesterday were probably pretty similar between Prescott and
And if you look at
Purdy.
I mean, so Purdy's numbers were pretty well inflated. If you watched Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey, the yards after the catch again.
Right.
But I mean, that's what inflated a lot of Jimmy's
Exactly.
like.
But here's the thing. You're not accidentally the most accurate passer in the NFL. You had 1 bad game. And it just so happened to be a game that really mattered for the Dolphins. Had they won that game, they're still in first. Now they're playing for the 1 seed and home field advantage because the Chiefs lost. So losing that game was way more critical, not just losing to the Niners, just losing that game, period.
Yeah.
So it sucked that Tua had a shitty game because he did, but he's still the most accurate passer in the NFL, according to the stats, even with a shitty game. Even with missing 6 times in the middle
Is
of the
he
field.
the MVP?
20 fucking yards down the field, missing in the middle of the field with Tyreek Hill.
So not so accurate.
Highly accurate.
Not so
highly
accurate
He's
yesterday.
so accurate.
Huh?
Not so accurate yesterday.
Oh,
Did he try and
was,
stretch it
gonna
more
happen.
yesterday than normal?
No, I think he was pressing. He
you
was
think
pressing
he-
because here's the thing. The defense was doing exactly what Miami's offense was doing. Okay?
Missing in the
Same
middle of the
thing. No.
Missing
But they were
tackles.
coaching exactly the same way. If somebody would really look at,
He's gonna go back
no,
to this.
I'm telling you guys don't analyze the game as much as I do. Shanahan and Mike McDaniel were coaching the exact fucking same way.
And
the schemes were the same on both sides.
He's
Neither
pounding the
one
table.
of them could
If
do
you're
anything.
listening, he's pounding the table.
I don't like after the game. I don't think that McDaniel was outcoached. I don't either.
Absolutely not.
I think you're right. I think.
Do you think
they got
that
out-
McDaniel
They
would
were
say-
in each other's head the whole game.
They got-
Do you
they
think
got outplayed,
McDaniel
yeah.
would say that he didn't get outcoached?
Yes.
I disagree with that.
Dude, he's down 6
would say it.
points on the fucking 40-yard line with 2 minutes left, and they have the ball.
Yeah, but he's
and they
gonna
go
take
on
the
4th
blame.
and 2, and it comes down to a challenge that
good
had
coach,
to be
a good coach
reversed.
Good
would
coach
take
is
the
going to
blame.
take the blame.
Right?
He's not going to say he was outcoached.
A good
Okay?
coach would say, yeah,
There were
they were better
mistakes
than us
made
today.
on the field.
But a good
He's
coach would
not
say
on
that.
the field.
But would a good coach say that?
What, that he's going to take the blame?
He'll say, yeah.
No,
I mean, a
we
good
all,
quarterback-
we all failed today.
Do you think the play
I
calling
see what
was,
you guys are doing,
Do you think
and
the-
I don't care because
Because Jeff does not
here's-
lose an
no,
argument.
here's what it comes down to.
Sounds like
a
it.
real
Gosh.
leader like Tua Tagovailoa did yesterday is he took the blame.
Good.
And you know
That's
what?
what they
He
all
should
should
have
do.
taken the blame.
And so should the head coach.
For what? For being
now,
for taking
so-
a franchise that hasn't been good in 20 years,
yesterday-
you've coached, flipping it on their
yesterday
fucking
he
head.
lost. Do you think that he
Would
was
you
happy
say
about
that
that?
your pitcher didn't throw enough strikes? It's his fault? Or would you have
Say
taken
your
the blame
pitch
for your
calling
team?
wasn't very good.
Yeah, I called
Like,
pitches. We were great at it.
I don't.
He
think,
doesn't throw the ball.
Yes, but he calls the plays.
And what if he's been, okay? You're a pitcher.
Any good coach.
You're a pitcher. Have
any
you ever
good
missed your
coach-
spots when your coach was actually calling good pitches?
Yeah, and
did
a
you miss
good-
your spots?
And a good coach would take the blame. And we had that when we were playing. When I was a pitcher, we had coaches who made stupid decisions, and they took the blame.
if they
It's
made
not
stupid
just
decisions, but if you
executing.
missed the spot,
It's
They-
not just executing.
pitch calling.
Why were what positions was the offense in? Were they in third and longs? Were they in great positions to convert on third down yesterday?
Yeah.
Your running
yeah.
back literally
They-
had. I don't.
yeah, there
the
were
guy's
plenty.
been great since he's got to Miami. You're going to give him one carry?
Especially
I've
against this
watched a
ex-team.
lot of Miami games.
It was shocking.
And
I
on
think-
3rd and 2, you know what they do? Little 6-yard out to Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, and it turns into 40 yards.
Yeah, Waddle didn't have.
So
a good
why
game.
run the ball?
No,
when you
struggled.
have
how
that.
many targets did Waddle have a catch?
Waddle had 4 targets and 1 catch, but Hill had
He was beat up though.
Hill
right?
had 11 targets and 9 catches and over 150 yards and a touchdown. So that's the problem with having
So
those
coaching
two
must
guys.
have come into
But it
play.
hasn't been a problem.
I think
No,
he,
or
I think
Waddle
he
was
did-
covered.
I think he did overthink the Mostert versus Wilson splits. I think he probably should have rode Wilson. I think that was the closest thing I saw to like.
I think
I
Wilson's
didn't-
hurt personally.
I didn't- I
think
didn't-
he's still hurt.
I didn't think he was making calls that weren't appropriate when they should have been called. But I like McDaniel. He's
Nobody said
You,
no.
you missed in the middle of the field. They were there.
What was it like
It
at
was
your
there.
house after that game yesterday? Were you good?
Yeah.
You didn't like beat your dog or something?
No.
Your cat?
No, actually, I actually took the loss pretty good. To believe it or not, I did, because what pissed me off more is that I knew Cincinnati was going to beat the Chiefs, and if we would have won that game, like I said, they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Now they're 3 games ahead of going into SoFi, playing the Chargers. We're gonna beat the Chargers, and now you're 10-3.
Was Yellowstone as good as it would have been if they had won?
Yellowstone's always good.
There you go. It was a great episode last night.
so-
no spoilers. We were watching it tonight when I get.
But you know what? It's the Niners.
It's good.
It sucks that Jimmy's gone or he's out. It does.
it
It
does.
sucks as an NFL fan. Like
Yeah.
they were. Yeah.
I wore it out in solidarity. Also, I put it on yesterday for the first time all season, and I'm a little superstitious. It's probably my fault.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Jimmy. My
You
bad.
messed him up. You broke his ankle.
The other team, and you mentioned
Well, I
it.
should have wore Tua because I wore merino under my sweatshirt, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
I
and
would've
you were
wore
just
Tua.
talking about it.
Hey, everybody, join us next week for the 2 hour. We're going to go ahead and keep it rolling. The one you brought up a team, and Jeff and I did talk. I remember talking about this today. Is that have we underestimated the Cowboys? Have we kind of?
They'll blow it.
I don't know.
I mean, you just admitted to
I don't-
being
I-
concerned about that team.
I'm concerned about that team. That
Their
defense,
defense,
is so
yes.
good, but now they've got they're no longer just like forcing it through Ezekiel Elliott, which is now making him strangely better. He's getting more efficient because he's not having to go every single time. Dak is hitting a good stride right now.
And Pollard's really good.
And everyone's seen that.
And
for the
Michael
last
Gallup's
3 years.
healthy, which is helping CD Lamb. And
That's
really
just
good.
classic with that
saying
scarf and that visor.
It looks so.
It really
I've been
does.
saying that Pollard is
He's
really,
been
really
saying he
good.
loves that visor and that sack.
Here's the thing with the Cowboys.
we got to make that shirt.
Cowboys.
Here's the thing, bro.
Here's the thing, bro.
That shirt's coming.
Cowboys
Here's the
will
thing.
get the 2 or 3 seed. Okay. They're going to lose in the second round if they don't lose in the first round, depending on
stop
the
you real
seed
quick?
that they get.
Can I stop you real? What are you laughing
The
at?
confidence that he has in everything that he says, like
It's the Cowboys.
No, but the confidence, I like it. I'm not knocking it.
Look,
but
we put ourselves out here, and everybody else can call us crazy. They can agree with us. That's why we do this. I'm telling you guys right now, the Cowboys are not going to the Super Bowl.
it's almost
period.
as if you're in the Back to the Future where you had that book.
I
of
have the
future.
almanac.
Yeah,
Biff's almanac.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I feel
I've
like you
got it.
do. Do you agree?
I think I
That's
do
why
because
I'm laughing.
because a
'Cause
lot of
he
the
thinks
things
he does.
that I have said, not
But a lot have been wrong too. You probably said a lot of things right.
Amari
but
Cooper?
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's the one thing that I've said. I mean, I called Pollard 8 weeks ago.
What did he say when you called? Did he pick up?
He did, and he said, "Give me the fucking ball because
Feed me the
if
rock."
you guys want to win, that's what you need to do."
See, and I thought I saw the same thing happening. And so sorry,
Heineke's?
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
for sure.
Brian. When I got Zeke off of your hands, but he's playing really good right now too.
Yeah, he's scoring a lot of touchdowns. TD Zeke. Dude, the scarf, that look is just impeccable.
And by the way, there's only one player. There's only one player that has more yards passing in their first 16 games as a starter than it's
Tua had more than Peyton.
no.
If that's that, I saw that Instagram.
Nick Mullins is number 2 on that list. Just saying. So Shanahan is going to take Brock Purdy, and like I said on Sunday,
And make him Purdy.
you all will remember where you were the first day you saw Brock Purdy play a down of
Yeah.
football.
And
So,
I'll tell you,
Every Hall of
I
Fame
will
career
remember.
starts somewhere.
That's right. He did make history. He was the first Mr. Irrelevant to throw a touchdown pass.
And then he's the first Mr. Irrelevant to throw a second touchdown pass.
And
Is he the first one to throw
Thank
a
you.
pick too?
no.
No,
I
Somebody
thought
else
the
has done
fucking 2 hour was over.
Well,
No,
we're
this
talking
is
Purdy.
Brock
that.
Purdy.
We didn't even
This is-
bring him. Now
this
this
is
is
Brock
the Purdy
Purdy,
hour.
No.
Purdy.
If we
Fun
could,
zone.
if-
No, and it was
Purdy.
Gray's Sports Almanac, by the way.
Yeah, if we
But
could,
Biff
Attaboy.
had it. Biff held it.
if we could please start referring to
Now
him
I
as
got it.
future Hall of Famer Brock Purdy,
Yeah, I like it.
the first Mr. Irrelevant to go to the Hall
Okay,
of
Brett.
Fame.
Let's be honest
Hove.
here.
Huff.
Let's be honest.
He's a Hoffer.
Is Brock Purdy taking the 49ers to the Super Bowl? And do not let your heart get in the way. You're a realist when it comes to sports.
I'm about to take the
Is
Browns
he
to the Super
going
Bowl.
to the Super Bowl?
No,
It's disgusting.
it's
Jake,
Jesus Christ.
Jake, you heard it right here.
Got it.
Did you hear
he might be on the team that goes to the Super Bowl, and he won't be the one that takes them there. They could still get there on the back of their defense. Christian McCaffrey. It's not going to be Brock Purdy taking them there. He might end up there. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that no one can remember that have won Super Bowls with a defense like we have.
Trent Dilfer.
I was just going to say Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Big Fresno State fan.
Yeah.
Love Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, I do
don't
too.
shit
But
on him.
Congrats
I'm
on
not
the
shitting
UAB
on
Talking
him.
jump.
about shitting
I'm
and
not.
don't shit
No,
on
no,
Trent
no,
Dilfer.
no.
So,
No, but you will admit that defense.
Yeah.
it was the best. It's the best defense in NFL history.
Yeah, I will also admit that Trent Dilfer's the best backup quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah, and it's going to take
also.
an
You think so?
amazing
Yes, I do think so.
What about
performance by
like Nick
Purdy
Foles is a pretty good
to take
backup
him there.
quarterback.
yeah.
Nick Foles is okay.
Super Bowl MVP.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
Preacher. He wanted to be.
Okay. Whatever.
Sorry,
Nick
I didn't mean to go
not-
back to
He had God on
No,
his
it's
side.
okay.
is what I'm
49ers game,
saying,
but-
It's
Jeffrey.
okay. Bang, 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 bang. So no on the Cowboys, huh?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. NFC Championship game, maybe, but I would highly doubt it.
I think next time you
know
play
what?
poker, you need to wear that hat with some like orange glasses.
Yeah, you keep bringing up this hat,
'Cause
but
it is
I'm going to talk
staring
about
right
the
at me.
buzzsaw, though, that nobody's going to talk about, and that is Tom Brady. And he just did it tonight, and it's typical Tom Brady. Nobody wants to play Tampa Bay in that first round.
The Saints suck.
All they have to do is get there.
That's what they're going to get there.
And the Saints
Tom Brady-
defense does not suck.
They're two games.
Dalton
They're 2
sucks.
games ahead in the conference. They're going to get there. Falcons just lost again.
I actually thought you made some pretty good throws tonight, and there were some drops.
I didn't hit my guy.
Like
Chris
Taysom
Olave.
Hill
Way to
got
take
blown
it.
up.
Could you have
That
hit Olave
is-
a little bit more, please?
I need-
I
needed
mean
to.
those are points. Those are points. That was a conversion.
Yeah.
That could have been points. Taysom Hill got lit up on that third down. That was a
Yeah.
All right, boys. But Tom Brady
Hey.
is Tom Brady.
Hey, 2
and
touchdowns
Tom Brady in the playoffs is a
inside of-
different Tom Brady.
But you've had him like done for the last
I'm not
several
saying
weeks.
I'm not
right?
saying that he's not. But I also just
Him and
a few
Rodgers.
weeks ago,
Hedge it.
He's
in the playoffs, you don't want to bet against
Oh,
Tom Brady.
I agree.
Period.
But you've bet
I
against
don't
him
care
all
if he's
year.
yes,
I guarantee.
and I've won.
Yeah, he gets
a lot.
He gets a second win when he gets to the playoffs. Like all he has to do is just manage it. That's a big reason why I think he went down to the NFC South, where it's not going to take a whole lot to get in, right? So all he has to do is get in, and once he's
it's
in,
not.
and then win
and then win.
in your first year.
Did you hear him running off the field and give a "Let's effing go" on live TV? I loved it.
Yeah,
Good,
Twice.
good.
I almost switched
I-
teams
I-
right then and
now.
there.
And that could be the first matchup that you see. You know, a Cowboys Buccaneers.
Oh, I
which
would,
is always a good game. And
who would you root for?
It's Buccaneers.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, the
The
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
I thought it was going
The
to
Vikings.
The Vikings.
Guys, we always get to. You don't have any calm your lips.
I think we went too long.
It's okay. We got picks though.
We can do overreactions in week 14.
Yeah, we've got picks.
But did you have any movies?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't do any movies for you.
Yeah, this is the first time that there hasn't been any movie anything on here. And
Well, some people like it, some people don't.
I know more about movies than I do football.
Me too.
We'll roll with it. What is it? Calm your lips. Calm your lips. We'll go Tom Hanks, right? We went Adam Sandler last week. Mm-hmm. This is just off the cuff here. Big is better than A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big.
There's no crying in baseball. No, League of Their Own is better. Calm your lips.
What did he win? He won how many awards for Big?
It
No, it
doesn't
was
even
good.
matter.
I don't know how
you
many
dance on the piano. They're still trying to sell that piano right to this day. I just saw an ad for it when he brings the gal home and he says, "Okay, but I'm on top," and then he goes and jumps on the top bunk of the let's go. Like that's
Yeah.
like the best.
It's a great movie. I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
I didn't
I
expect
like it.
that. Forrest Gump is better than Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like disaster movies.
Is Apollo 13 better than Castaway?
Yes.
Look what I have
either
created.
one. Yeah, either one for me. I didn't really. I never really watched.
He had to carry an entire movie by himself with a volleyball.
Yeah, the performance was
the
amazing.
performance is hands down better in Castaway.
Robin Williams. Okay.
No, he wasn't in. No,
No,
that was a,
I'm
it was
saying-
a Wilson volleyball.
Good Morning Vietnam
Great movie.
is better than Good Will Hunting.
No,
No.
Calm your lips.
Calm your
Calm your,
lips.
calm
I'm
your
just
lips.
saying.
You got one
I
for
agree
us?
with you.
Now that we're in the swing,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Jack, Mrs. Doubtfire. Jack or
Mrs.
Mrs.
Doubtfire.
Mrs.
Doubtfire.
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 I do like Jack, though.
Mrs. Doubtfire, dear.
I do.
Good Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
That was
Very
This
well
guy's got the
executed. You
impersonation.
didn't
brought
miss
that- he
20
brought
yards
that out. Yeah,
downfield
he
right
was
there
just
with
so
that
he
one,
could do
Jeff.
it.
That you nailed that.
That was
one.
well done.
Good boy.
That was a completion for
I'm
a
proud of
first
you.
down. Again.
Proud of you.
Do you got
Jeffrey.
one for us? Ohio State.
Boise State. Niners.
Hey,
You're faithful.
Whoa.
Do you got one for us before we rush into picks?
No.
No. Do you
You
have
don't
one?
have any movies at all?
Christmas movies.
Oh,
Elf is better than A Christmas Story.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Elf
Who did
is better than Christmas Vacation.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No, Margot.
It is. Yes.
No.
Elizabeth, as soon as the day after Thanksgiving, it's contractually obligated to call me Sparky until Christmas. Christmas Vacation is.
I think Die Hard is one of the best. I think it's been classified
Yes.
as a Christmas movie.
Yes.
And it's one of my favorites too. Just throwing that out there.
Did you always Love Actually? So we watch it every year, and we always forget around like whether or not to watch it with the kids. And then you guys have all seen Love Actually,
Yeah.
correct? Right?
No.
Actually, no.
Actually, yes.
Actually, no.
Oh, so one, it's a fantastic movie, great Christmas movie. But there's a point in time where you're watching this Christmas movie, and then they are doing the lighting setup for porn movies.
Oh.
And you forget. Maybe we shouldn't be watching this with the kids. Every single year, it comes like a brick from behind. Just like what just happened? Why are there's fluffers here? What's going on?
Wow.
You know, it's
Beautiful.
fantastic movie.
We got to watch that. I haven't seen it.
Who did this line from Elf? Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. Do you know who was the voice for that?
Oh, I don't.
The voiceover
Yeah.
or the
Brad
actual?
Garrett.
No. Well, there isn't an actual narwhal that comes out. That was claymation, Jeff.
No, I don't know.
Jon Favreau.
Oh,
He was the director of it.
yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Good knowledge.
Next.
Grease is better.
What? Go ahead.
Pulp Fiction is better than Grease. Those are John
Yes.
Travolta.
Oh, Pulp Fiction. I'm sorry. Yes, it's
Yes.
better than
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
I was testing.
my
Thank
bad.
you
My
for
bad.
giving us the John Travolta connection. 'Cause I was like,
but-
what are we talking about
but-
here?
I don't know if it's better than Face Off.
Yes.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction is way better.
They're
It's-
both
but,
really good,
okay,
dude.
Face
let's
Off
go
and like
Quentin
Con Air.
Tarantino.
That's a better,
Yeah.
matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Con Air versus
Con Air.
Face Off.
Gone
Con
in
Air.
60 seconds.
Con Air versus Face Off.
Con Air.
Con Air.
I'm a Face Off.
Let's go. Quentin Tarantino. Reservoir Dogs is better than Pulp Fiction. We'll just stick with that.
I don't know about. I don't know. That's hard.
Kill Bill is better than Reservoir Dogs.
No.
I disagree.
No.
Kill Bill 1 or Kill Bill 2?
Django Unchained, didn't he do that? Or-
Yes.
Yeah.
Is better than Kill Bill.
Yes.
Yes.
Disagree.
No, I said yes.
You're a big Kill Bill fan.
Apparently Kill
Yeah, I
Bill
like
is
Kill
your
Bill.
top.
Well, yeah.
One or two? Do you take
I
both
like
of them
all-
together?
I like
or-
all-
They're
Yeah.
they're all good.
So
Yeah.
one or two, if you had to pick between the two.
One, just because it was original, like, you know, the way that they did that movie.
Godfather is better than Scarface.
Yes.
The original
Yes.
Godfather.
Yes.
That one's tough for me.
Godfather 2 is definitely better.
I say. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Scarface is better.
Just because you're in that
yeah.
disagreement,
Yeah,
that
just-
Ohio
I feel
State
it. I
fucking
feel it. I
attitude you
feel
got.
it.
You fucking kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Exactly. Casino
All right,
is
all right.
better than
The Departed.
The Departed.
My
Good.
cousin Vinny.
No,
Casino is
I don't know,
better than
man.
my cousin Vinny.
Casino is one of my. They're both
Yeah.
up there for me. I don't know.
The Departed was really, really good.
Casino.
Casino's really good too.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't.
How about my cousin Vinny or Casino?
I love Casino, but that's a great
No,
movie.
my cousin Vinny.
No,
Really?
no, not
My
at all.
cousin Vinny or A Few Good Men.
A few
A
good
Few
men.
Good
Few
Men.
good men.
I'm going my cousin Vinny.
They're not even like the same type of.
They are
movie.
both courtroom kind of dramas.
They're not.
I don't think I've ever seen My Cousin Vinny, so
How have you not seen My Cousin Vinny? Go home and watch it right now.
But we're all right.
So was
Good night, boys.
So was the juror or jury, right? With Robert Duvall and
The jury,
Juror.
where was that the one where they had that kid and they were like trying to? He was the big witness, or no? Is that
Yeah.
That was called The Witness.
Was that?
Yeah,
no, no.
That's
The Witness.
That's what I meant.
no. Are you talking about the one with?
I'm talking about the juror. That
Was it
Robert
Jack-
Duvall was the
No, Jack-
the judge, and it was Richard Gere was one of the attorneys, I believe.
I don't know. What you're talking about. I don't know.
All right.
Are you talking about the firm?
Picks?
Yes, the firm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom
The
Cruise.
witness also.
Picks. Here we go. I've got the numbers, boys. I crunched the numbers today.
Good.
Jake at 60. Jeff with I had a 5-point weekend. Jeff had a 6-point weekend, and we are now tied at 60. Burnsy, you had a 6-point weekend also, and are at 57 now, 3 back. So it's anybody's game here.
10 seconds off of having an 8-point week.
You were, yeah. Tom Brady ruined
You jerk.
ruined your week. So who wants to go first pick-wise?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Kansas City over Denver, Cincy over Cleveland, Seattle over Carolina, Dallas over Houston, Miami over the Chargers, Tennessee over Jacksonville, and the upset is Minnesota over Detroit, and Minnesota is actually a 1.5-point underdog on the because they're on the road. No joke.
No. Detroit's hot right now.
This is why we shouldn't be doing this shit on a Monday night,
All right.
because the odds are going to change.
That's all right.
I don't
We're
think they
doing it
will
on
not
Monday
for
night,
that game. You think
How
they
are
will for that
how
game?
are the Vikings an underdog?
And we're
Well,
going.
look at what Detroit's done, and look at how.
Will you confirm that?
Here's what I got:
What was it?
Bengals over the Browns,
Minnesota is an underdog.
the Bills over the Jets, the Cowboys over the Texans, Eagles over the Giants, Chiefs over the Broncos, Dolphins over the Chargers, and the upset pick is or you said the Vikings were.
Underdogs, 1.5.
I mean, if they're the underdogs,
Then I will go with. How about the Steelers over the Ravens?
I like that. I'm going different too.
Is that 6?
I
or
think
5?
I don't know.
Well, if it's not,
I'll let
6,
you know. You'll have to pick another one.
All right, I think it's 6.
I think we're all pretty much the same. I go Bengals over Browns, Cowboys over Texans, Chiefs over Broncos, Seattle over Panthers, Bills over Jets, Raiders over the Rams. I'm going back to it. They're hot right now.
Mm-hmm. They're going to beat the Rams.
The upset pick, I'm going Cardinals over the Patriots at home.
If I have to pick another one, it'll be Seattle.
The Vikings are an underdog.
Hey,
Yeah,
if
1.5
I-
points.
I just,
to the Lions.
I'm okay.
If I have to pick another one, it'll be Seattle over Carolina, so we have it on record.
So from the guy that was giving us shit about true underdog picks, he went the opposite way.
No, I know.
Yep.
I know what he's doing here.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Very not underdog pick. Well, you're losing, so
Exactly.
I
I
get
got to
it.
come back.
Now-
These
now-
guys, they just like they're trying to keep a brother down. What's wrong with you?
the kickers.
Up yours, both
the
of you.
kickers game, on the other hand, is a completely different story. Burnsy is well in control at 133 points. Jeff's at a 111. So solid 23 back there. I'm at 95. So I would say the season's pretty much wrapped up for me. I'll go first. I'm going Badgley as my kicker for the week.
Jeff goes second
Jeff, go
because
ahead
he
and
went
go.
first last week.
Dicker had 7, by the way.
Good job.
With
Got 12 on you.
We had a miss, 8, but a miss in there. Coxie, who are you going to roll with? And I can tell you if you've already picked them.
Okay, that's what I want. Jake Elliott.
Okay.
Have I picked him?
You have not.
I'll take Jake Elliott.
Right from Pittsburgh.
Okay. You're good. Locked in, boys. Another solid week. Fraze, you got anything to take us home on?
Just nice outfit, Jeff. Like you really wore it. You really wore it well.
I thought you might say that.
All right, Bet's Nava. He's got one more in him. This was
That's
our
right.
bet. Just remind him.
Let's shit on that.
Still faithful every
You're
Sunday.
still faithful.
Rain, shine, or fog.
And you still got that stain right there on your belly.
Yep.
It looks good.
Yeah, that
There we go. Look.
that stain. This shirt was
Chili dog stain.
pre-Elizabeth, where I was taking care of my own laundry, and I set that.
We all do it,
long
son.
time
It
ago.
happens. Look at his white.
I did bring this.
Did you just buy that?
No.
Wow, that's
I've had
in
this
really
forever.
good shape.
This is that's Super Bowl 7. So I've had this a while. It's a
You've had
crew
it
neck.
since Super Bowl 7?
No, it's a crew neck though. But I just bring that out for special occasions. Like
What
a
was
podcast.
special about today?
I did think that I was supposed to wear some of his gear, and I wondered what it was going to be like to dress up like I was on Easter during the Christmas
Well,
season.
you look.
Yeah.
I wanted to look
You
like
look
an
like
it.
I wanted to look like an Easter egg. I look really good in pastels. I thought that
I
goes
think
with
you
the
would have
red.
pulled it off just
It
fine.
goes with the red.
You know what? You came as an Easter egg already once. I think twice. Didn't Brian tell you that you were an Easter egg the last time you came on?
I can't. Did he?
I'm pretty sure he did. So you do like pastels.
So-
You look good in turquoise and orange.
So then we just finished the debate. Which came first, the Easter egg or the chicken?
Yeah.
Yep.
So go
Yeah.
go Dolphins.
Yeah.
Go no.
Dogs.
Go dogs.
Go Dogs. Brett, it's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you for
Dolphins
having me
are-
here.
Hey, if you
Yeah,
want an
fun
interesting read, Jeff kind of sent me a text today, but the Twitter files,
Yeah,
which
check
we
them
might
out.
we might dive into next week a little bit more.
We are going to dive into the Twitter files.
It's very
The Twinner.
interesting, very interesting stuff out there going on in the Twitter world, and
Oh, I did see that.
I love it. I just love seeing people lose their fucking minds. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Jeffrey,
Brett Frazier, also known as Andy Dalton. Okay, thanks
The
for
red
joining us
rifle.
for the Ronnie Lott episode of 42 of Watch Your Lips. You can follow us at @WatchYour_lips on Twitter and Instagram, at Watch Your Lips on TikTok. If you're listening, go watch on YouTube and hit subscribe.
hat's still available.
Did you guys pay the $8 to become verified on Twitter? Or
No,
No, we haven't. We don't have a blue check mark yet, but we're getting close.
We're getting there.
what a missed opportunity that was,
Right?
For $8.
I thought it was $25 a month.
it's like $8 a month. I
That's
don't know.
it?
Yeah,
It's gone now. Can't do it anymore.
they're gonna
can't?
they're working on changing the way to do it.
I don't have a twinner.
So
What's a twinner?
it's called Twitter.
Twitter?
It's okay.
Well, boys, this was fun.
Yeah. Always fun.
Tua took a shit, but he'll be back. Okay?
We all take
He will
shits,
be back.
Jeff.
We do.
Everybody
Took a
poops.
3.
And it's
not
okay.
A number 2.
I have
You
the
took
book.
a number 3.
Everybody poops.
It's okay.
Sometimes it's 2.
And don't forget that I have the almanac.
3s.
Graves, you said?
Grays.
Grays. Yeah, Grays.
I'm gonna buy it.
Grays almanac.
should.
You
We
can
should-
buy it.
We
Yeah.
should.
Well, let's
Say it
in
right.
fact,
You-
we are
We
gonna
need to
buy
add it to our collection.
Say it right. You sound stupid when you don't say it right.
What
So why
movie's
don't
that
you
from?
make like a tree
Hey,
and get out of here?
What movie's that from?
Which one of the Back to the Futures?
Okay.
It's at least in 1 and 2.
That one, the last one was in 1. It's excellent.
So you heard it here first. Dallas loses at least in the second round. Purdy, not going to be so Purdy when it comes playoff time. Dolphins are gonna
Lose
they're
in
gonna
the
roar
first.
back
Watch your lips.
And lose in round 2.
and
Round two.
yeah, Tua. Tua, he's good, isn't he?
Hello, McDaniel.
Hello.
Anybody home?
I thank everybody for listening. I do.
Thank you.
I thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you guys,
Subscribe.
and watch your lips.
Love you all.
This is Downfire.